Hey guys, Mike here at Adams Tutorials, and welcome back to a new video. Alright, well, as you can see in front of you, we are going to model a very cool space gun. At least I think it's very cool, okay? Now, I have no idea where it's from, who originally created it, and so forth. I assume it's either a toy or something that's been used in a movie, or both. So if you know, let me know. And that said, let's get started with modeling. Okay. Now we're going to start at this end over here. So what we'll do is we'll take a polygon sphere, we'll pull that out, we'll hit E, and we'll, oops, wrong handle, we'll rotate that 90 degrees, minus 90 in this case. And let's bring that in over here. Hit W, move it over, F to zoom in, and R to scale. That is pretty close, okay? And the image is at an angle, obviously, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. We're going to take that edge in the middle, have to zoom in, edit mesh, extrude, and let's do a thickness of 0.2. That's maybe a bit much. 0.1, that's probably better. Okay. Now we have these rings going on down here, so we're going to right click at a face. We're going to take these faces and get rid of them. And we'll do the same over here. Maybe one more. One less. We'll do this. Okay. And hit delete. All right. Then we're going to go in. We're going to create a polygon pipe. Give that some height. Hit E. Rotate that upwards to minus 90. In our top view, we're going to go to object mode. Come on. Object mode. F to zoom in. W to move up. And before we do that, let's set everything to our grid line to save us a lot of trouble later. Okay, so that's all set to translate value 0, and we'll do the same here. And now we can simply pull that out, hit F to zoom in, R to scale down, 4 for wireframe mode. Okay, and now we can check our reference that we now need to move, obviously. Let's bring that in. Okay, so that's our object. This is our ring. And let's scale that down a bit. Just gonna quickly hit 5 for shade mode so I can see what's going on. Okay. So that's not too bad. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these guys going on. So now we're going to create a polygon cylinder. We're going to pull that up. We're going to set that to 30 subdivisions and 0 caps and 14 in height. Okay. E to rotate that over to 90 degrees. We'll set it to 0 translate value, and we'll select it. We'll hit R, we'll scale it down, F to zoom in, and W to move out. And then we'll check it from this view. Turn on my X-ray again. And as you can see, it needs to come down quite a bit. Now we're going to keep it centered, although it's not in our reference image, but we will do that here. We're going to bring that in until we roughly have the same length. quickly turn off my X-ray so I can see it a bit better. Let's do that. And then we're gonna right click at a face. Like so. If to zoom in, we'll go to edit mesh, extrude, and do a thickness of 0.3, which is probably a bit much. And we'll just check. Yes, obviously. 0.2. We're going to right click at object mode and we're going to scale it down. Hit W to move that down a bit and then hit R and stretch that out. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now, we can't see how that is connected up over there. So we'll just have to kind of engineer that, if you will. So what we'll do is we'll right click, go to edge. We'll take that inner edge and go to mesh and fill hole, and that should work. It did not for some reason. So we'll go to edit mesh, extrude under edge. I'll hit R, we'll kind of scale that in. And what we can do is hit W and move that forward. Just make sure that this guy is centered and aligned from the front. And that doesn't seem to be the case. So we'll have to fix that, but that's okay. We'll bring that down. Then we'll right click, go to object mode. We'll take this guy and we'll set that to 0 once again. And then we'll do 4 for wireframe mode, W to move that out. Okay, we'll hit R. Let's do that. Okay. All right, so now we need to take these faces here. And go to normals and reverse. And then we're gonna right click, go to edge. And then we're gonna scale it in some more and hit W and pull that out. Okay. It's, it's a solution. Okay. So what else do we got? Now we got some sort of half rounded screw or something like that going on here. So what we'll do is we'll create a small sphere. Let's do 30 by 30 just to keep it nice and round. Okay. We'll move that in there. Have to zoom in. Let's go to our reference and we will hit W, pull that in, R to scale down quite a bit. Too bad there. And again, we're going to need to kind of eyeball this. Okay. First, I'm going to select this guy and hit 3 to smooth it. See how that looks. That's fine. All right. So we're going to bring this in to about there. And let's look at it from this perspective. Okay. So we're going to hit Control D to duplicate. And what I'll do is I'll move it until it is just almost touching that edge right there. And we'll do the same here, like so. Then we'll take them both and we'll hit Control D to duplicate. Bring that down. And they look to be in a very similar position. Then we are going to take one of these, Control D to duplicate, bring that out and up. I have to zoom in, bring that down, Control D to duplicate, I have to zoom in. That looks all right. And although we can see them from the inside, we're going to close that up in a sec, so that would be okay. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move them over. And then we'll move them over to about there. And then these guys, looks like they need to move this way just a little. And then we'll take these, they look okay. But from this angle, they need to be brought in. So these kind of look okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mesh, combine, modify, center pivot. And what we'll do here is we'll use a little creative freedom. We're going to scale them in until they are sitting inside like so. Okay. Does that work for us, or does that not work for us? No, I kind of like the symmetry. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit W, and we're just going to bring it in like this. And then we'll take these. And we'll bring them in a little. Kind of level that out. Okay. Alrighty. So that's how we're going to do it. Then let's focus on this guy. Okay, this angular thing, whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to start with a polygon cube. I'm going to pull that up. Let's make that thing square. We'll do 2 by 2 by 2. We'll just scale it down a bit. Check on it from this view. Let's bring that down here. Have to zoom in. R to kind of scale out. And like always, this is pretty tricky to do because our image is not perfect. Let's bring that down to there. And then what we'll do here on the top is we're going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Multiple, and we'll do 1 because that will set it straight in the middle. We're going to hit Q on our keyboard, right click Edge, and then we're going to raise that edge up to this point right there. And then we're going to right click at a face and we're going to take these two faces and we're going to go, actually we'll do this one first, edit mesh, extrude. And pull that out. Let's move that to about there. And I'll take this guy, edit mesh, extrude, pull that out. To about there. And then we're going to go back in. Edit mesh, extrude again, hit W, pull that out and rotate that somewhat. Okay, so we're going to hit E and we're going to rotate this until this is level. And we're going to hit W and we're going to bring that in, which means that we now have to right click, go to vertex, take this vertex and try to get that somewhat level as well. Okay, what we'll do is insert edge loop. We'll do an edge loop there. Q on our keyboard, and now we can right click at our vertex and take these two and kind of bring that out like so. So now we can right click at a face, edit mesh, extrude, and W and pull that up. And that's going to be up until about there. Now before we tweak those, edit mesh, extrude, and W, pull that out. Let's see if we can kind of get that the same. G to repeat, W to pull out. Rotate that to 90 degrees. And then we'll right click at an edge. Take that one. Okay. We're gonna take this one. Actually, let's do that from the top. And let's scale that down just a bit and move it just a bit. Okay. Then we're gonna go to edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull that up until we're up there and slightly bring it in. Okay. Now we know that the thing becomes wider from that angle, so let's see, that would be not this angle, no. Looks like we're gonna have to do it from here. Let's see how that thing is working. Okay, it's like this. All right, so we're gonna right click at a face and we're gonna select all these faces. And we're gonna start to stretch them out like so. And then we're gonna go to mesh tools insert isotool option box, and we'll do 3 like that. And then we're gonna right click, go to vertex, take these, hit W, raise that up, and then take the one in the middle and raise that up. Actually, not raise that up. We'll keep that one level. So let's see what we got. Let's shut that down. Okay. So we got that. Then what's going on down here? We need to extrude the bottom. So we're going to right click at the face, edit mesh, extrude. I have to zoom in. Okay. G to repeat, W to pull out, and E to rotate, and W to pull up again, and R to scale down just a bit, and then G to repeat, W to pull out, and E to rotate. And this guy actually looks to be a little bit at an angle. So we're not, yeah, well, we'll try to keep it almost level. Okay. So that's that. Let's see what happens when we smooth this guy. It's probably going to look horrible. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to have a little sphere down here and a ring. So we're going to borrow this ring. Control D to duplicate, W to move out. And let's move that over here. Have to zoom in. Let's bring that in. And let's center that out. Let's hit R, scale that in a bit, not too much. That looks about right. And then we have a sphere, a ring, a rod, and a sphere. Okay. Let's push that down. I have to zoom in. Okay. We're going to create a sphere. I have to zoom in. E to rotate to minus 90. And let's just center that like so. Let's check the size on that thing. Turn off my X-ray so I can kind of see my components. So that needs to come down here. I have to zoom in. Scale it down some more. Okay. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. We're going to bring that out. We're going to scale it way, way down and keep it symmetrical, so and in line, which means we're not going to follow our example here. So we need a little, let's do a little rod. Come on. Let's rotate that over. Minus 90. Let's scale that way, way down and stretch it out and hit W and bring that into position. So from our top view, push it over there, F to zoom in. We're going to scale it down some more. We're going to move it in here, F to zoom in. Let's make sure it's centered. Okay, we're going to check our reference, turn on our X-ray. Where'd it go? Okay, so we just need to put the rod in there and then we're good. Just check to see where it's at. And it's right there. I have to zoom in. Let's check it from this view. We're gonna snap it to the center. And let's hit 5 for shaded mode. We're gonna take all of this stuff. I have to zoom in. And let's get that whole thing aligned. Okay. So this is what we have so far. I'm missing one little component, which is my rod, the one that I created. So I'll hit 4. And hopefully that will show me where that is at. Okay, it's inside. So we're going to bring that out. Like so, hit 5 for shaded mode. Okay. Alrighty. So we got that. Now, how is that stuff connected? If you go here, you can see that it's sticking through here, and then there's a ring there. Okay. So let's check our model. And what we'll do there is we'll right-click at our vertex, and we'll select these. And push that through like so. And then we're going to have something very similar to this guy. And it's so similar that we're going to take it, hit Control D, rotate it to 180 degrees. And then we're going to hit W, we're going to move it, we're going to bring it up. And let's see how that fits. That's not too bad, that can work. And we'll have to deal with the top in a sec, but for now, pretty cool. And we're going to need to create a connecting pipe and an end section there. So we're going to create a pipe, pull that up, hit E and rotate that over to -90. Hit R, scale it down. I have to zoom in. Let's move to this view. Hit W and move that over here. I have to zoom in. R to scale down. That's going to be in here somewhere. And hit R and kind of flatten that out a bit. Actually, we can push it through as a rod, like so. Okay, so let's go to our model view, if you will, and make sure that it's centered. So we're going to hold down, actually we can't snap this, so we'll do it like that. Then pull that out to about there. Check it from this view without our X-ray, like so. Okay, and then we're going to hit Control D once again, and we'll pull that out here. We'll hit R and we'll scale it in to about there. And then we're going to go to Edit Mesh, and Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting. We'll do one right there. And then we're going to hit Q. We're going to move in, right-click Face, Edit Mesh, Extrude, 0.2, which is maybe a bit much, 0.15, slightly better. And then we have something sticking out there, which is a sphere and a rod. Okay, right-click Object Mode, Mesh, Combine, Control D to duplicate, W to move out, and I'll modify center pivot, raise that up, hit E, flip it over to -180, check it from the top. That seems to be positioned correctly, but here not so much. So let's bring that down, turn on X-ray, pull that out, and just make sure it's centered, like so. And then we're going to have to close that opening. Have to zoom in, and like we did before, we'll right-click, go to Edge, let me think. Yeah, we'll do that one, and we'll do Edit Mesh, Extrude. I'll push it out. We'll hit R, push it out. And like I said, it doesn't have to be identical to the original, just as long as it looks cool. Okay. So we're starting to get somewhere. Now let's focus on this guy on top here. Just check on, see how we're doing, guys. How long has this been going on? Hang on. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. So we're gonna move up here and let's deal with this guy. We're gonna right click at a face, take that top section and delete it. Right click at a vertex, take these top vertices and bring that down to about there. I have to zoom in. We're gonna right click at an edge, take that top edge, edit mesh, extrude under edge, W to pull up, and E to rotate to about there, and then G to repeat, W to pull out. And we'll pull out until we're about there, and then hit E and rotate that until it's pretty much level. Pull that out again, and then we're going to have 3 stages here. So what we'll do is we'll pull it out to there, go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting. We'll do one there, and one there. Q on our keyboard. Have to zoom in, and we'll right click at a face, Come on. Edit mesh. Extrude. 0.1 is a bit much. 0.05, that's better. G to repeat. Whoa. 0.05 is better. G to repeat. 0.05. Okay. All right, and then we have our sphere and our rod and so forth. So we're going to take all of this. Control D to duplicate. W to pull up. Just going to go to modify center pivot. Let's try and get that into position. Hit W, move that in. We're going to rotate the whole thing a little bit, just so it's, oops. Before I do that, mesh and combine. And now I can modify center pivot, rotate that so it's kind of facing that way, and just scale that up a little bit and move it out. And then mesh separate, take these two, modify center pivot, pull it out to about there, and then right click, go to vertex, take these vertices, and just bring that inside my sphere. Okay. Right click object mode. And this is what we have so far. Okay. Well, that's going to be part one. I'm going to see you guys in part two. Okay.